All right, let's talk about AI governance. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Red tape, compliance headaches, things that slow you down, right? Well, today we're going to flip that script entirely. We're going to explore how the right kind of governance isn't a brake pedal at all. It's actually the accelerator that can give you a serious competitive edge.
Okay, so here's the central question, the one that every single organization is grappling with right now. AI, is it your greatest innovation engine, or is it a ticking time bomb of risk? I mean, we see it everywhere, right? It's changing healthcare, it's revolutionizing finance, but all that incredible power comes with some pretty serious risks. So the real trick is figuring out how to tap into that power without things blowing up in your face.
And that really is the heart of it. It's a classic double-edged sword. On one hand, you've got this incredible promise. I'm talking accelerated growth, way smarter decisions, massive boosts in productivity. The potential is just huge. But on the other hand, the peril is just as real. We're talking about things like unintended bias creeping into your models, massive data breaches, and maybe the worst of all, losing the trust of your customers and stakeholders. And once that's gone, it is so hard to get back. So let's get out of the theoretical for a minute and look at what this actually means in the real world. Because these risks, they aren't just abstract concepts on a slide. They have very real, very tangible consequences when things go wrong. You've probably heard this one, but it's such a perfect cautionary tale. So Amazon decided to build an AI tool to help with recruiting. Smart, right? They fed it a ton of data, about 10 years worth of resumes. But here was the problem. That historical data was mostly from men. So what did the AI learn? Well, it learned to prefer men. It actually started penalizing resumes that had the word women's in them, like, say, captain of the women's volleyball team. It's just a brutal, clear-cut example of how AI, if you're not careful, can take our own historical biases and just put them on steroids. Okay, so the big question is, how do you stop that kind of thing from happening in your own organization? The answer isn't just about damage control. The real key is to build things like fairness and ethics right into the DNA of your systems from day one. It means shifting your whole mindset away from just ticking a few compliance boxes to something much more strategic and proactive. And really, you've got two paths you can go down. There's what we could call the checkbox approach. This is all about doing the absolute bare minimum to stay out of legal hot water. It's totally reactive. But then there's the strategic approach. This is completely different. It's about weaving things like fairness, transparency, and accountability into the entire AI lifecycle. It's not an afterthought. It's a fundamental part of building a product that people will actually trust and want to use. A huge piece of that strategic approach is this idea of data privacy by design. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't build the whole house and then try to figure out where the plumbing goes, right? No, you design it in from the start. It's the same idea here. You build data protection right into the core of your systems from the very beginning, using things like anonymization and super strong encryption. It's not a feature you bolt on later, it's part of the foundation. Okay, that all sounds great in principle, but how do we actually do it? How do we turn these big ideas into a practical playbook we can use every day? Let's dig into how you can build a governance framework that, believe it or not, actually helps you move faster and with way more confidence. And this is where the rubber really meets the road. Take a look at this. A formal intake process for AI projects. That might sound like bureaucracy, but what it really does is speed up the ethical green light, getting your idea to market faster. An ethics committee? That builds the trust you need to deploy new things boldly. A risk model lets you experiment safely and quickly on low-risk ideas. You see the pattern here? Every single piece of governance is directly tied to a business agility benefit. It's all about enabling speed, not slowing it down. Of course, a framework is just a piece of paper without the right people in place. You have to have clear roles, who's responsible for what. You need something like a cross-functional ethics committee, think of Microsoft's Aether committee, to provide that high-level oversight. And for every single AI project, you need a dedicated use case owner, someone who is ultimately accountable. When you have that kind of clarity, you get rid of so much confusion and decisions can be made way, way faster. So let's see how this playbook actually works on a day-to-day basis. The whole thing is built on a really smart, really simple idea, a risk-based approach. Basically, the core idea here is to stop using a one-size-fits-all approach to AI. It just doesn't make sense. Instead, you categorize every project based on its potential for harm. I mean, an AI that helps you write marketing emails is a totally different beast from an AI that's helping diagnose a medical condition, right? So this approach lets you apply the right amount of oversight to each one, which means you're not bogging down low-risk projects with unnecessary red tape. And this breaks it down so clearly. You've got your green zone.
Think of things like AI-driven reports. These are low risk, you just need a human to validate the output. Easy. Then you have the amber zone. This is stuff like an AI tool that suggests career paths. It needs a bit more attention, ongoing human monitoring. And then you get to the red zone. This is the high-stakes stuff, using AI for employee promotions or, medical diagnostics. These require full, multi-layered human oversight. No question. It's just a really practical way to manage risk without killing innovation.
So, what's the payoff for doing all of this? What's the bottom line? Well, let me tell you, the benefits are huge, and they go way beyond just, not getting sued. The data shows a really clear, really tangible return on investment. Just look at these numbers. One retail firm saw customer satisfaction jump 15%. Why? Because when you're transparent about data, people trust you more. Simple as that. A healthcare provider cut misdiagnoses by 20% by using AI audits to spot errors before they became problems. And a financial institution saw fairness concerns drop by a quarter, which is huge for their brand. This is the proof. Good governance isn't a cost center, it's a value driver, plain and simple. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Ethical AI governance is what gives your teams the freedom to innovate. It sets up the guardrails so they can move fast, reduce those frustrating approval bottlenecks, and launch new AI systems with real speed and confidence. It's an enabler, not a blocker. And the best part is, this isn't just high-level theory. This is something you can actually start doing today. Here's a super practical 8-step checklist to get you going. It covers the absolute essentials, like defining your team so everyone knows who owns what, classifying your projects by risk so you can fast-track the safe stuff, and training your people so everyone's on the same page. Think of this as your roadmap to getting started right away. And as we look to the future, all of this stuff becomes even more important. Here's a key prediction. By 2025, explainability, being able to clearly explain how your AI makes its decisions, is going to go from being a nerdy technical feature to a massive competitive advantage. Being transparent won't just be a nice to have, it'll be a key reason why customers choose you over someone else. So let's wrap up with this idea. Stop thinking of good governance as the brake pedal. It's not. It's the state-of-the-art navigation system. It's the high-performance tires on a race car. It's everything that gives you the control and the confidence you need to go faster, safely. So the only real question left is, are you ready to hit the accelerator